Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Sasha with Brave Hope Reiki and more. This is our spiritual message of the day. The doggy sounded like a cow. Maybe that is a cow. It's a very upset dog because it's like a low. Oh. And Val's somewhere over there coughing. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Since today is Monday, I will include the spiritual message of the week, as well as be doing the spiritual message of the day. It is August 18th, 17th, 18th. I think it's the 18th. Yes, it is August 18th. It says a mantra for self-love, or worth, sorry, self-worth. Self-love was yesterday, right? I am powerful. I am divine. I am extraordinary, and I am worthy of all the good stuff this world has to offer. Love it. So self-worth. And then I pulled quite a bit of stuff on self-worth to talk about. I figure a lot of people will probably rewatch. It's just a great thing to think about. Self-worth. That thing keeps tickling my leg and it's kind of creepy. It's like a strap under the table. That's distracting. Self-worth is one of the most misunderstood and underestimated forms of personal power. Many people move through life chasing approval, achievements, or perfection, not because they truly desire those things, but because they've learned to believe that worth is something you earn. Self-worth. Pondering self-worth. Just as I talk about these things, just think about the things that you have been taught to value as self-worth, and then think about the things that you actually value as self-worth. Crystal said that the birds were going crazy today, and she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Highly distracting. There's so many different kinds. That's why it's so distracting. You got blackbirds, you got doves. Okay. From a young age, we're often taught that being good enough means checking certain boxes, being liked, being productive, being successful, being attractive, being easy to get along with. But what if all those boxes are a prize you earned, but a truth you return to? So, a truth you return to. I think by becoming more authentically yourself, you'll find more self-worth in yourself, if that makes sense, by being able to step out of the box and be who you want to be, not who society groomed you to be. That you'll find more worth in yourself. Well, I don't know. I thought maybe fall is another time for love is in the air, because these birds there's something. They're being weird. Take a moment and ask yourself, what do I believe makes a person worthy? Kindness comes to mind. Loyalty comes to mind. Honesty. I really cannot stand lying. Oh man, lying is a huge trigger. So loyalty, honesty, kindness, the ability to reflect and grow, the way you treat others. I don't know. Those are the things I was thinking of. Oh, is it kindness, strength, beauty, intelligence? Beauty definitely is not at the top. Intelligence is not at the top. We can learn together. Strength, like emotional strength. But I don't care if you can lift 300 pounds or something, you know. And when you think of your own worth, what lens are you looking through? Too often we define our values based on how others perceive us. How much we give, how little we complain, how closely we fit their expectations, but true self-worth has nothing to do with the external. It's the inner knowing that you are valuable, lovable, and enough. It's so hard because I think that a lot of us that have been through bad relationships or trauma, a lot of us have issues with self-love and feeling good enough, and so therefore we don't value ourselves. And so a lot of the times I feel like I put that own stigmatism on myself of I'm worthy, I have self-worth, I'm only valuable if I'm valued by what I can do. Does that make sense? Good morning. That's kind of like how I was raised, was like valuable for the things that I could do for the family, if that makes sense. Oh, Brittany. I am not. Okay. Even when you're not performing, pleasing, or producing, the challenge is that we often silence the knowing beneath layers of self-judgment, comparison, or shame. Real self-worth doesn't rise and fall with your success or failures. It doesn't disappear when you're having a bad day, when someone disapproves of you, or when you're still in progress. It's the quiet foundation beneath all the noise. The part of you that remains steady even when life is messy, and it doesn't ask for proof. If anything, self-worth invites you to look at yourself in the mirror, flaws and all, and say, I am still worthy. I have always been. Opinions can change the truth. Good morning. It's like a spindly thing. Please, no spider on me. It's funny because that goes with our spiritual message of the week, the spider, but I don't want a spider on me. I don't know if that was a bee. Listen, whatever. So today, sit with this. What stories have I believed about what makes me valuable? Whose voice have I let define my worth? And most importantly, what would it look like to believe that I am already enough just as I am? You don't have to wait to be perfect to believe in your value. Your worth is not a destination, it is your birthright. Reclaim it. So it was talking a lot about like how we call back our power and we call back our energy and stuff like that. Oh. But some of the power that we need to call back is also our self-worth. There's a lot spiritually going on out here. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink and a breath. I'm just getting like a lot of bright flashes and sharp eye pain. A lot of this energy that we've been having too has caused like my third eye to be really, really twitchy. No, you're good. The energy out here is it's a lot. Okay. And then I pulled stuff too. Oh, the magpie is pretty. I know people like misunderstand magpies, and I love magpies. I'm sorry. I know that they can be pests to other birds, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you could see it, but oh my gosh, bright freaking light. I don't know where the barn is. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on the barn. I just blinded myself with my phone. Ow. Eclipse and new moon is coming. That's right. We got out of this, whatever the earth was doing to us and the solar flares just so we could jump into eclipse season, which is super exciting for all of us. Okay. Your worth is not based on your productivity. Because I wanted to pull things that like society really pushes for us. And I feel like I value my come back to me. Oh, come back to me. I value myself and my self-worth on my productivity. If I'm sitting there or I'm not being productive or I'm not able to be productive, like a lot of the times I'm really hard on myself and I don't see all the things that were keeping me from being productive. Like the children are a big thing. I went in the office for an hour to do readings on the 3 kiddos that got the anti-bullying bag / school bags. And like the kids just were going crazy and Troy has like 0 patience. And so then he's complaining and I'm like, it's an hour. He's like, this is why you can't do anything with kids, blah, blah, blah. Which kid is that? Can you see? I can't tell. I think it's Cutler. So I've had a low self-worth this summer because I haven't been able to do a lot because they've been very active.
Mom, I want to ask well.
You'll have to wait till I'm done. Because I'm not going in there to change the TV.
Please.
What did I say about me going live?
Please.
Do you see the birdie up there on the barn? It looks so cool. You should take a picture. It's a magpie. You gotta get closer than that, sir. So, we're taught early. Oh, it flew away. What is that? Is that a bumblebee landing on my phone? Oh my gosh. Don't bring your phone over here playing. I get copyright infringements when your guys' phones are in the background. Nope. You
got to do it.
pause it. It gets my video taken down and then people can't hear my voice in the videos.
I'm Jurassic World.
What did I say?
I'm Jurassic World.
That's not how we act.
I'm Jurassic World, please.
And I told you when I'm done with my lives, I will come back in and I will help you. You can go swinging. You can jump on the trampoline. You can play with Connor. You can go do some drawing.
You could go to the toilet.
You can do that. Let's not talk about that, though. Those are private conversations. Okay, go. And I made you waffles, so go back inside. Don't talk about that. That's inappropriate. Oh, it's so hard to be a parent. I try not to laugh at inappropriate. Like, I'm trying to be a parent here. Nobody taught me well Why'd you lock me out? This is based on your productivity is something that society really pushes, and now the rooster is gonna go off. And there's a wasp. Oh, Crystal, this is because I made fun of you. Life is just lifing, and then it pours more life on your life. Okay, we're taught early. Oh my gosh, don't land on me! For crying out loud! I'm trying to be a good person. I'm trying to give a spiritual message. This live is a shit show. If this is any indication what this week is gonna be like, look at all the distractions. Cutler, the rooster, the birds, the flashing lights. My eyeball's doing something weird. The wasp, there was like a spider web coming at me. If you could go away, sir, please. We're taught early on to associate being busy. I'm gonna get stung. There was this is off topic, but we were doing, I think it's the only one we've done where we've done a private sound bath with Reiki for 2 friends, and I got stung while I was doing the energy work on the ladies, and I just had to keep going. And yeah. Oh, wait. There's nothing even over here. Nothing smells interesting. Now they're both out here, and they're both in red too. Okay. Busy. Getting good grades, achieving, with associated, we're taught early on to associate being busy, getting good grades, achieving with being good. Cutler, don't yell. Rest, play, or slowing down are often labeled as lazy or unmotivated. And now the chickens are fighting. What the fuck? You tell them, Rooster. You tell them, get their shit together. No fighting, ladies. As adults, this translates to feeling guilty for taking breaks, constantly pushing ourselves, or believing we have to earn our rest or love through hard work. Like, I definitely, when I get frustrated or upset with Troy, I can rage clean the whole house. And then I feel so much better. Productive. But, it's okay if we take breaks, and it's okay if we're not always going and doing. It's okay if we take naps. It's okay that we are not always in motion. And I have to be okay with that, in seeing the self-worth in the patterns of going and slowly. You have to look a certain way to be lovable. From media, toys, and social comparison, kids learn quickly that beauty equals value. Thinness, clear skin, certain features, and specific styles are celebrated, while everything else is either ignored or mocked. These messages stick as an adult. Many people still tie their worth to appearance, struggling with self-image no matter how much they achieve. I struggle with that. Like, all of these things, I feel like I'm gonna check the box of, like, I do feel like that has something to do with my self-worth. Like, my productivity, I need to be okay with not always being productive, and I need to be okay with loving my body with the place it's at, as long as I'm, like, accepting and loving that it's taking in nutrition, that it's getting me throughout my day, that I am beautiful regardless of weight. Being liked equals being good. People pleasing is often encouraged in childhood, especially for girls, but also for boys in different ways. Like, be tough, don't cry. Children learn to shape their behavior around approval, whether from parents, teachers, or peers. This leads to adults who fear conflict, avoid authenticity, or say yes too often just to feel accepted. A lot of the times when you guys come to a sound bath or a healing session, I'm always like, you have to say no for the next week. Like, practice saying no because you're in a vulnerable state. So you don't need to be pushing your energy so much and doing the people pleaser thing. And having boundaries is a lot about self-worth too. Do you worthy yourself enough to allow yourself to get those blessings by saying no to people that are pushing boundaries? Please don't land on me. Mistakes make you unworthy. Many of us grow up in environments, home, schools, or what is that? What are we banging? Religious spaces where mistakes are punished harshly or used to shame us. We start to believe that failure is a character flaw rather than a learning opportunity. As adults, this can cause perfectionism, self-sabotage, or chronic fear of trying new things. Oh, trying new things. Trying new things is important for our growth as a spiritual being so that we can find the places that we're supposed to be and the things that really do bring us passion and joy. Like Cutler, he broke his arm, right? And we could really harp on what a big mistake that was, but I was instead looking at the bright side of him learning to take a pause and allow his body to heal. Cutler. Because you ran at him. It's not right that he hit you, but he also doesn't understand. You gotta leave him alone. He's had a long day. We've been up since 4:30. Yeah, 4:30 this morning. Everybody, except for Troy. So it is okay to fail, and we need to teach our children that it's okay to fail, and like reinforce that trying new things is super important. You give to others. From being called selfish or setting boundaries to be praised for self-sacrifice, kids absorb the idea that their needs should come last. As adults, this often manifests as burnout, resentment, or deep disconnection from our own desires because we've learned that putting ourselves first is wrong. I think it was last year that was like the mantra of last year. I was telling people to be more selfish and to just focus on themselves. And I do say every time somebody says they're going through relationship issues, to take a step back, even if you're married, like take a step back, even if it's a career, take a step back from people's energy and just work on yourself and figuring out what makes you happy and what you want to do and how you want to approach things, and then everything else will fall back into place. Success means following a specific path. School systems and social structures often push a narrow definition of success: grades, college, career, marriage, kids, home, ownership. Straying from the path can feel like failure, even if what you're doing actually aligns with your soul. This belief can keep people trapped in lives that look good on the outside but feel empty on the inside. Good morning. Good morning. It's funny because I was specifically, when I said that, I was thinking about people who go on missions and how Troy always brings up that he didn't go on a mission. He was the only one not to go on a mission, and then he went into the military, and we always talk about how that was meant to happen because then we met each other and it was just meant to be. Your kids are being crazy. But I used to do missionary physicals all the time, and I would say 95% of the boys would cry in the room. And I wasn't even Mormon back then. And I would always be like, why are you doing it if you don't want to go on the path? And it's because it looks good in society and on paper. And so it was always my mom's forcing me. And I'm like, oh, that's terrible. But, so try not to do things that are just good on paper. Do things that are fulfilling for you to find your self-worth, not what society pushes you to do. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to find a partner and have a bajillion kids. You don't have to live in a house. If you want to live in a cabin or a van or a trailer, whatever you want to do. Like, don't go off of what society tells you how you have to live. Okay. Marriage is a milestone that proves success. Many cultures and families see marriage as a major life goal, and if you haven't hit that mark by a certain point, it can feel like you've failed or fallen behind. The pressure to check that box can override whether it's actually the right relationship. Adults may carry shame, insecurity, or pressure to settle because marriage has been equated with being on track in life. So don't value yourself on if you're married or not. Your value increases when you're in a committed relationship. I feel like that goes hand in hand. Being a good spouse means self-sacrifice. Many are taught that once you're married, your role is to serve the relationship above yourself, especially for women. The idea that your worth is in how well you support, nurture, or keep your partner happy is deeply ingrained. This can lead to lost identity, codependency, or a belief that your needs are less important than your partner's. Your worth at school conditions students to believe that their intelligence and often their value is defined by numbers and letters. High achievers are praised, rewarded, and seen as good kids. Struggling students may be labeled as lazy, disobedient, or falling behind. Over time, this creates the belief that if I don't perform, I'm not enough. That pressure can cause perfectionism, burnout, or low self-esteem that lasts long after graduation. Honestly, we need schools, but we don't need schools for some things. Like, it's okay if your kids learn a little differently. And we need to teach them that it's okay if they're a little different, and that we don't value them on scholarships or high achievement awards. Like, I don't know, Cutler always says stuff like, my brain is broken. And I'm always like, your brain is just fine. Your brain works just fine. You just need to settle down. And it would work even better if we take some deep breaths. Connor, what are you doing? Yes! What are you doing? Oh, you're going outside? That's cool. I like it. I'm going outside too. Do you want mommy's shoes? Connor, do you want mommy's shoes? Come get mommy's shoes. Okay. Mistakes equals failure. Spending time with yourself without distraction is not prioritized. Which, to gain a better self-worth, you need to spend time with yourself. So prioritizing that. Even if you have kids and a partner, allowing your partner to go do things separately is super helpful. Get clear on your values. Ask yourself what truly matters to me, not what others told you should matter. What actually lights you up or keeps you grounded when you live in alignment with your values. Celebrate who you are, not just what you achieve. Start noticing and naming your inner qualities. Are you resilient, insightful, empathetic, brave, funny, loyal? These things aren't tied to your performance. They're part of your essence. Practice self-compassion daily. When you mess up, fall short, or feel off, pause and offer yourself kindness, not criticism. Set boundaries and honor your needs. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you or yes to something that does, you reinforce the message, I matter. Your time, energy, emotions, and body are valuable. Surround yourself with people who see you. Your environment mirrors your beliefs. When you're around people who celebrate your soul, not just your surface, you're reminded of your intrinsic value. That said, your worth isn't dependent on others, but healthy relationships support you. Let go of who you think you should be. Self-worth isn't found in the performance of perfection. It's found in acceptance. When you release the pressure to be who others expect and show up as you truly are, you create space for real confidence, real connections, and real freedom. The truth is, the cycle of performance-based worth, comparison, and external validation runs deep, and it often starts in childhood, but we can absolutely interrupt it with intention, presence, and love. Here are meaningful ways we can help our children build real, lasting self-worth and break free from cycles, as so many of us had to unlearn as an adult. Affirm their being, not just their doing. So praise their kindness, their creativity, their curiosity, their perseverance. Say things like, I love how your brain works. So Cutler says his brain's broken all the time, or like his brain's not connected or something, and a lot of the times it's when he's getting in trouble and he's not listening with his ears. But I like how it's talking about, I love how your brain works. So like I always try to get down on my kids' level so that I can see eye to eye, just because then you don't look like you're casting over them, domineering, and like, I don't know, I want them to actually see that I'm here and I care, I'm on your same level. So I want to start saying things like, I love how your brain works. We just need to stop and listen sometimes and help our ears hear so that our brain knows what to do. You're such a thoughtful person. I love being around you just as you are. He set up Connor's Peppa Pig racetrack or whatever, and that was super cute. So when your kid does something really cute or thoughtful, or goes out of their way to do something nice, like going and getting a toy for somebody or something, we need to just be more conscious of our surroundings and say things that are very validating to them so that they think kind things about themselves, because we weren't told a lot of kind things about ourselves. But if we tell them kind things about themselves, then we break that cycle and allow them to learn and grow in a healthier way. Normalize mistakes and model self-compassion. I think I have done really good with this, because I can't remember if Troy said that he let Cutler drive the lawnmower or something, and they hit something or something happened, and Cutler just looked at Troy and was like, it's okay, mistakes happen. And I say that quite often, especially because Connor can take things really hard when he makes a mistake. So Cutler has just learned that mistakes happen, and I feel like that's really nice, because I don't want them to be like, it's the end of the world. But Cutler will also point out your mistakes nonstop. So where's the reciprocation, sir? He just took my water? That was mine. Why'd you take my water? Ooh, full mouth. I don't want it back. You keep it. Give them space to explore who they really are. Support their weird hobbies. Let them dress how they want. Encourage them to speak up instead of asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? Try, who are you becoming, and what makes you feel most like you. Help them learn to trust their own interests. I don't want this back. I'm gonna be like, you know how you forget and then you open it up and you drink that? Like, no thank you. I'm gonna move that away from me. Watch how we talk about ourselves and others. Children are often listening. If they hear you constantly criticizing your own body, minimizing your achievements, or tying your value to work or connecting. So if they hear you constantly dogging on yourself, the chances are they're gonna pick up that habit and start hating on themselves too. Like, think about the ways you react to anger. They'll pick up those things, those habits. Think about the ways you react to things that go off in your life. Teach boundaries as a form of self-respect. Help your children understand that it's okay to say no, that their voice matters, that they don't owe their time, attention, or energy to anyone who makes them feel small. When a child learns they are allowed to protect their peace, they begin to believe I am worth protecting. Danielle's son Jameson teaches Cutler boundaries a lot, and I feel like he will absorb that from Jameson, but Jameson will be like, I'm done playing. Like, I don't want to play with you anymore, which is kind of sounds mean, but at the same time, she has taught him boundaries to speak up for himself and be like, I'm done. When I'm done, I'm done. And I think that will teach Cutler that when he's done, he's done. Show unconditional love. They need to know you are loved when you're angry, when you fail, when you lie, when you mess up. Love doesn't mean approval of every behavior, but it means they never have to earn your affection. I do hate that when kids get upset, a lot of the times they go to, you don't love me anymore. And I'm always like, maybe it's antagonizing, but I always tell him, I love you. I love you. And he's like, no, you don't. I'm like, I do. I love you. I still love you. You just are in trouble. Ask them what they're feeling, what they're afraid of, what's been hard at school. I find that not asking them right after they get out of school is very helpful. I mean, Connor doesn't tell me much. I just say, good day, bad day, and he'll now finally tell me if it was good or bad. But for Cutler, he won't tell me right away after school. Like, he's overstimulated, he's had a long day, he needs to eat his snack, have a little break. And then at nighttime, when I would remember to ask, well, what did you do at school, or what did you learn and stuff, I got more stuff out of that when I spent a little alone time with him to read a book and spend time with him than I got more out of what is he feeling. And it's good to get our kids to think about how they're feeling and to give them those questions like, what made your day happy? Did anything make your day sad? Or whatnot, to help them understand that. Breaking cycles isn't about being a perfect parent. It's about being a present, emotionally honest, and healing one. Every time you model self-love, validate their voice, or reminds them they're enough just as they are, you plant seeds they will carry for life. You may not have been given this kind of support as a child, but you're giving it now. That's how cycles end and new, better ones begin. The world will always try to tell our children who they should be, what they need to do, and how they need to act, or what they must achieve in order to be enough. But at home with us, they should feel something entirely different, that they are already worthy simply because they exist. We don't have to be pole kids. We just need to be present, curious, and willing to grow alongside them. When we nurture their sense of self, honor their individuality, and model what it means to love ourselves unconditionally, we don't just raise confident kids, we raise cycle breakers. We raise healers, we raise humans who know their worth and aren't afraid to stand in it. Let's give our children what so many of us are just learning to give ourselves. Does he want that back?
He found it under the porch.
Okay, well, let him have it. The freedom to be fully, authentically, unapologetically who they are, and to believe that that's more than enough. Hey, Cutler, give him back the tumbleweed. Find your own tumbleweed. Uh-oh, Cutler. Are you listening? I think Connor's going to have an issue with throwing things this year in class. Okay, that was the spiritual message about self-worth. But good morning. Let's talk about what we can expect this week and what can help us get through this week. So, I saw that there was more calm to this, even though this whole life has been chaotic. There was more calm to this week. There was more, we're not overthinking as much, we're coming back down, and the energy is going to be a little bit better. And why it's getting better is because we're trusting things and we're setting things in motion that are helping things get better, if that makes sense. I also saw a need for there's going to be a lot more vivid dreams and dream guidance this week, especially on relationships. So I did want you guys to set intentions before you go to bed this week for any guidance that you may remember, the things you need to remember, and that you may take the advice and if there's anything that you need to know, that it comes up in spiritual signs and stuff, because there's a lot of dream magic going on this week. So we're trusting ourselves more, our intuition is more aligned, and we're able to see more of the synchronicities and stuff. Relationships may still struggle this week, and I feel like there's an imbalance between flexibility and not flexibility. So make sure that you're not being too flexible, but also make sure that you're not being a brat, if that makes sense. I also see the spider, spirit animal, which that tells me that we are making magical things. We do have our crafting event this Saturday, so spiders make webs, which are webs of magic. We're weaving our magic. We are doing that this Saturday, which is cool. So there's going to be a lot of ancestral energy, but this also tells me that if you need help this week, Cutler, don't do that right here, please. If you need help this week, that you need to ask for it, and you need to be more delegating. We also need to get back into the routine of meditation. So if you can set more clear intentions and start getting your routine back in order. Summer's like almost over, school is back in session, so we need to start setting a time frame. Think about when can you meditate during your new schedules. Maybe your schedule didn't change, maybe you just need to get back into when you were meditating, but definitely setting some time to meditate, and especially meditating around regrets and releasing those regrets, because they aren't helping you at all. The lesson was learned and whatever happened, and therefore, like we were talking about, our self-worth, it shouldn't be affected by things that we made mistakes on. Like, everybody makes mistakes. You're not a horrible person for making a mistake or doing something wrong. You learned from that. You signed a contract for that experience so that you could learn from that experience. So instead of holding on to that experience and making yourself relearn that experience again, let's release that so we don't do the pattern again. Do you want to do the pattern again? Do you want to make that mistake again? No, let's forgive ourselves, let's forgive others, let's move forward and release that through meditation. Be more flexible, or if you're being too flexible, pull back and set some boundaries. Ask for guidance in your dreams, and realize that your intuition and your ability to trust yourself is on the rise. That is it, y'all. I think that's a good enough live for me. There was so much chaos to start. It's a little bit calmer now, but only for a second. I am open today from 10 to 7 if you wanted to come shop. I did get the 3 back to school bags / guidance done for the kiddos. The one lady's son, he starts on the 20th, so I wanted to have those done ASAP. You do get a reading if you do those anti-bully bags / protection bags / studying of the school. Like, it's got a ton of different crystal chips and a specific crystal for them, and then they get a message, like, and they get a spirit animal that is guiding them. Like, I pull a spirit animal that's guiding them. One got a coyote, one got the hawk, one got the swan, but there's spiritual messages in all of those things. Like, if your kid's gonna struggle with self-doubt, being authentic, if your kid's gonna need to make new friends, I just like pull a school message so that you could be more aware as a parent on what it is that may go on through the school year, which is kind of nice. I was gonna pull my kid's school message, but Troy was tapped out at the hour mark, so I'm gonna do that more when the kids are calm, probably by myself. Anyways, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I hope you find worth in yourself that doesn't have anything to do with exteriorly what you do. Like your productivity, the way you look, the way you appear, the way society pushes you to be. I hope you can find self-worth in your ability to be loyal, your ability to be honest, your ability to be kind, your ability to help others. Like those are the things we really should value in people and in ourselves, instead of the things that we have had pressured onto us to define our value. And then we can break that cycle and help our kids break that cycle. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.